So today the Bednarik Award watch list came out, and a couple of Tigers were on it. Of course, the guy who won the award last year with Jamar Chase and Terrace Marshall also named a Bednarik Award preseason watch list member. So congrats to both those guys. It's deserved on both accounts. I don't think that's surprising to anyone, especially considering one of the guys won the award last year, and both were among the nation's leaders in those categories. So Chase and Marshall, both on the Bednarik Award watch list. Earlier this week, the Bednarik Award watch list, we saw 3 Tigers on the list. But we did not see Miles Brennan on the Davey O'Brien watch list, which is something I talked about. And I labeled it a snub, and some of you kind of scoffed at that. But the fact that a guy like Mac Jones is on the list, and Mac Jones basically was a part-time fill-in last year for Tua after his injury, hasn't really accomplished much in his career. Meanwhile, Miles Brennan is a fourth-year player who has played at times at LSU, and he's inheriting one of the best offenses in football. It's not that dissimilar from a Oklahoma quarterback being on the Heisman odds list. It's not like Miles Brennan has Heisman odds this year because he's the quarterback at LSU with all of these weapons. So it should stand to reason that he'd be on the list. I was very surprised that no LSU running back was on the Doak Walker Award watch list. And it's not, and you're going to say, come on, Matt. Like, none of these guys have done anything. And in context, you're right. Because, or in a vacuum, I should say, you're right. Because you're thinking Clyde Edwards-Helaire was just a first-round draft pick. And before that, you were talking about guys like Darius Geis and Leonard Fournette. And even Nick Brissett was a 1,000-yard rusher. And Jeremy Hill. And we know the great list of running backs. And you look at Chris Curry, Ty Davis-Price, John Emery, and go, yeah, none of them really have done anything in their college career. And you're right. But sometimes you have the benefit of the name brand program recognition and history. Like I just mentioned, like with Oklahoma quarterbacks who kind of get the benefit of the doubt because of the system they're in. I mean, Spencer Rattler shouldn't be on anybody's list, but he's going to be because he's the Oklahoma quarterback. And they keep churning out Heisman winners, All-Americans, and first-round draft picks. So Spencer Rattler, by default, is going to be there. Like, LSU running backs should be because, like, if this were a list of 20 guys, okay, go pick the 20 best. Travis Etienne's back. Chuba Hubbard, who was a finalist a year ago when Jonathan Taylor won it. I'm cool with that. There are guys who have done a lot of great things, like Kylan Hill, Najee Harris, Rakeem Boyd. Guys who have been solid college running backs that are going to play in the NFL. All that makes a ton of sense. But then you look at this list, and you go, there are 9 SEC running backs on this list for the Doak Walker Award watch list. 9 SEC running backs. Can you name, I just named 3 of them for you. Can you name 6 other SEC running backs? Can you? I mean, you might nail a couple, but the guys on the list, I mean, you got James Cook from Georgia, Eric Gray from Tennessee, Larry Roundtree from Missouri. Brain, did you know Larry Roundtree played for Missouri? Honest to goodness.
No.
If I said the name DJ Williams, who did he play for? Do you know?
South Carolina?
Auburn.
Darn.
He's on the list. What about Isaiah Spiller? Ever heard of him?
No, but I'm guessing he's not Auburn.
No. A&M. It's kind of my point. James Cook is on this list, running back from Georgia. Last year as a sophomore, James Cook carried the ball 31 times for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns. You want to take a guess at what Ty Davis-Price's numbers were last year? Remember, James Cook, 31 carries, $188, 2 scores. He's on the list. Ty Davis-Price, 64 carries, 295, and 6 touchdowns. Doubled up James Cook, but Ty Davis-Price isn't on the list. As a matter of fact, John Emery had double the number of touchdowns and to a point the exact same yardage that Cook did a year ago. And Chris Curry actually had 1 more rushing yard. Emery had 188. Curry had 189. Neither of them's on the list, but James Cook from Georgia is at 188. DJ Williams, the aforementioned from Auburn, by the way, 400 yards, 2 scores. Ty Davis-Price had triple the number of touchdowns a year ago that DJ Williams did, but DJ Williams is on the list. Do you realize Eric Gray from Tennessee was 20th in the SEC in rushing a year ago. He's on this list. You remember Garrett Schrader from Mississippi State? Like, the thing he's known for is, like, going airborne on the sideline and getting helicoptered. You know what I'm talking about, right? That viral play where he went airborne and got hit and he spun like 10 feet in the air. Garrett Schrader had more rushing yards last year than Eric Gray did. Eric Gray's on this list. So my point is, in a vacuum, I could buy you saying, man, no LSU running back deserves to be on the watch list. I'm with you. But neither does 20 guys that made this list of 76 college running backs. You're going to tell me at a running back factory like LSU that's churned out from Kevin Falk to LeBrandon Toefield to Dominic Davis and Ali Broussard and Justin Vincent to Shyrone Carey and Joseph Adai, who was a first-round draft pick, and Jacob Hester and Keelan Williams and Charles Scott and Stephen Ridley. You're going to tell me Leonard Fournette, Darius Geis, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, that one of the LSU running backs doesn't deserve to be on a list of 76 watch list running backs in the country? Hey, man, I'm not huge into bulletin board material. Like, I think you can find it, you can materialize it wherever you want. Look, I mean, if you watch the Jordan documentary, like, he made up stories to get pissed off at guys. But if you're LSU and you need a little fuel, post that thing in the locker room. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.